I'm going to be covering the Blockbuster trade between the Orlando Magic and also the Memphis Grizzlies. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates and all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at the NBA this weekend, and you're seeing some of the big deals that are starting to happen. The breaking news over the weekend, as I told you before, the Memphis Grizzlies are trading Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 first-round pick swap, sources tell ESPN. When you think about this deal, it's a big deal for the simple fact that there's 4 first-round picks involved. There's a lot of contract money being thrown around, and you think about this, the Orlando Magic look like, okay, they've got fleeced a little bit by the Memphis Grizzlies. But when you're looking at this overall, there's a bigger play here. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope got paid off of his performance with the Denver Nuggets in that NBA Finals where they won a championship, and he parlayed that into a deal with the Orlando Magic. What they thought they were getting for him, they didn't get for him. He's an aging player. He's still pretty good, but you got to think he's lost a step, and he's not that 3-and-D guy that you thought you was going to get from the Denver Nuggets. Let's just face it. He's not hitting those threes as consistently. He's not defensively as sound as he used to be, and it's just Father Time's catching up. This move was more or less for the Grizzlies to take a bad contract. Cole Anthony is good, but the Orlando Magic weren't using him well. Let's just face it. And you shift that and you allow the Memphis Grizzlies to pick up the heart of the contract. So that money comes off your books. That's almost like you getting a first-round draft pick, if you will, because you're moving money and you're not having to hold on financially to certain stuff. And if I'm the Orlando Magic, I'm getting Desmond Bane, who's a career 20-point, 18, 19, 20-point guy who can give you 20 and 5. He's going to be on the block. He's going to give you some assists. He's going to help with your core. And you think about this, this opens up the way for the Orlando Magic to get even better as a team. When you think about this, they have Wendell Carter at the center position. They got Franz. You got PB number 5, the young talent, Desmond Bane, and you got Jalen Suggs. You've yet to scratch the surface, and that doesn't include Black off the bench. It doesn't include a couple of guys that you have that you want to see how they're playing off the bench. The Orlando Magic have space to now grow. When you think about overall Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, that money was going to be on the books for a couple of years. Cole Anthony's money, they just paid him. That was going to be on the book for years. So now this allows the Orlando Magic to get better. And Memphis now has a swing, and they can swing in a couple different places. They could rebuild. They could tank. They can either try to move off Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and help John Morant get somebody. With those 4 first-round picks, they have a number of options that they can do. But I think I like this for the Orlando Magic. I think that this opens the door for them in free agency. This opens up the cap for them. And you know that the 4 first-round picks, assuming the Orlando Magic are going to be good, these first-round picks are going to be in the late 20s and 20+. So they're not going to be lottery picks. They're not going to be first, second, third, fourth, or fifth picks. These are going to be picks that are in the later half, almost second-round picks damn near. When you think about the East, the Orlando Magic have a solid starting 5. That's the start of it. Build your bench, whether it be somebody seeing what the Orlando Magic are building and they take a pay cut to come, or they're saying, you know what, we can possibly make something happen, and them signing a big fish. Moving a couple of other deals throughout the offseason. But I think right now the Orlando Magic are in a position where they have a couple of different talented pieces, and they want to roll the dice a little bit and see what they've got. I don't blame them. But I think from everything that we've seen, the Orlando Magic have done a pretty good job this offseason, and this leaves you to believe, okay, they're still not done making moves. This reminds me of when the Boston Celtics were first formed a couple of years ago, when this core of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was first formed. When you think about moves like Kevin Pritchard, when you think about moves of getting Al Horford here, when you think about moves of making trades to get Kristaps Porzingis here, getting that core together, drafting well, and then getting guys through free agency, getting guys through trades, getting guys through salary dump-offs, getting guys in different manners to where now you have a super team. Now you have 4 or 5, 6 guys that are great quality players, and you got 2 really good stars. So I think PB5 and I think Franz are going to be stars. I think with the way that they play, the way that they lift themselves, as long as they can stay healthy, I think this is a solid 5. Again, Black coming off the bench can do damage, and you can build up the rest of your bench now. You have more starters. You have more firepower off your bench now. Adding Desmond Baines gives you that second, third score that essentially is going to help you do what you want to do. And remember, in the East, it's not a lot of competition. You're top heavy in the East with one or two teams, but the Orlando Magic can easily surge from the 7th or 8th seed to the 4th or 3rd seed. You don't know what Milwaukee's going to do, and I doubt if they're going to land a big fish. You don't know what the Knicks are going to do as far as improving that roster. So Orlando is in a position now where their top 5, it puts them in the top 4 in the East. I know there's guys that will be munching at the opportunity to come play in Florida with no state tax. And you got to think about this as well. They have a team where you're going to get playing time. You're going to get playing time if you come off the bench for the Magic. They're not top heavy at one position. They don't have too many guys at one position. So you're going to have everybody kind of feel their way out in this. But I like to trade for both sides. The New York Knicks head coaching job. Let's talk about that for a minute. Taylor Jenkins, and that's the former Memphis Grizzlies coach, and also former Sacramento Kings coach Mike Brown. This week will be interviewing for the Knicks position. There's been several coaching requests to interview Udoka, interview Jason Kidd, interview lots of NBA coaches that already have jobs that have been turned down. These are some of the first ones that we're hearing of interviews of coaches without jobs that they're interviewing. So I don't know. The New York Knicks, it's funny because the direction of where they're trying to go, we don't know. We do not know. When you're thinking about just from what this offense needs, because the team plays pretty good defense when they're available, when they're not gassed out, when Tibbs is not running them into the ground, they play pretty good team defense. They're a solid defensive team. It's just offensively in that last 2 minutes, the last 3 minutes, that last 4 minutes, they run the same old plays. They're not really any type of energy injected into it. There's not any type of surprise factor or wow factor. Tibbs was old-fashioned with his offense. He ran basic plays, basic pick and roll, backdoor plays, and it wasn't anything that surprised you. And you got to think, that caught them off guard. The Indiana Pacers were able to catch them off guard, and that was one of the things that made it epic for them. So sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But when you're not offensively out there improving and evolving, that's some of the stuff that can happen, though. There's rumblings. There's rumblings out of Washington that, Terry McLaurin is not happy about his contract. And when you think about this, the Washington Commanders have a lot more. We're going to skip that. We'll skip that one. That's an NFL topic. What else we got? We got the Indiana Pacers and we got the Oklahoma City Thunder game tonight. We got game 5, I believe. It is right now tied up at 2-2. It's tied up at 2-2. And both these teams need this victory bad. You think about Tyrese Halliburton, he has to be more aggressive. The Indiana Pacers had the Oklahoma City Thunder right where they want them in game 4. Late in that series, they both were right about 98. And you got to think, from the standpoint, the Indiana Pacers took their foot off the gas pedal. There was times where neither team could score. There was times where they were going down exchanging baskets, but they weren't really, nobody was taking the lead. You think the Pacers are going to take it, Jack? But I think that they have to be more aggressive. The Pacers have to be more aggressive. As good as Tyrese Halliburton is, he can't disappear in the playoffs. He has to be on par, and he has to help Pascal Siakam as well. Pascal Siakam has been playing his butt off. He's been playing lights out. He's been giving the Oklahoma City Thunder a mismatch problem, and it's not been close. They don't have an answer for Pascal Siakam. They've thrown several different defenders on him. They've put bigger defenders on him, and they put smaller defenders on him. He's still, when they put Hartenstein on him and stuff like that, he's running right past them. When they're putting Shea Gillis on him and they're putting other people on him, he's just bigger than them. So it's just been a problem. But I know Tyrese Halliburton has been dealing with a lot as far as being double-teamed on offense and so many different things. He's going to have to know when to pass. He's going to have to attack in that second half. Try to set everybody up in the first half. Try to get your Indiana Pacers teammates involved. But you're going to, in the second half, have to be thinking, let me score first. Or at least let me be a threat to score first so they can then change their defense up a little bit. Because right now, they're not even looking for the double team. They're looking to just blitz him. And by blitzing him, he's throwing the guys that are not really shooting well right now. Yeah, they'll have spurts where certain paces will hit a number of threes, but right now they're not hitting those threes like they used to in the last two games. So that's given Oklahoma City the way to keep themselves in these games. When they go on these stretches where they're missing 4 or 5 shots in a row, Oklahoma City is getting back on defense and essentially scoring. And let's face it, Shea Gillis has had these guys in foul trouble the last couple of games, living at the free throw line. Him and Williams. So you got to think this is going to be a very tough game. I expect to see them be aggressive, and I want to see Oklahoma City really. What are they going to do when Indiana throws the blitz at them? When you got all the Pacers attacking in attack mode, when the fourth quarter, when you don't know where the ball is coming from, will they keep Miles Turner in the game longer? Because yes, the plus minus says Miles Turner is a better player when he's on the floor, but they seemingly have their biggest runs when he's not in the game. Because they're more flexible. They put Obi Toppin at the 5, and they're running. It's fast break city. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up against Oklahoma City, because Oklahoma City is playing them step for step. When they make a change, Oklahoma City makes a change. When they make a punch, they counter punch. So it's indicative of them to do that. I think that this is what champions are made of. When you see SGA, this is the moments we're thinking of. And now, as SGA, how do you handle the pressures of Game 5? Do you become more of a distributor in this game? Do you get more of your teammates involved in this game? Or do you live at the foul line even more? Only a handful of guys have made their names in the playoffs strictly off of one finals appearance. But if you want your name cemented in all time, you're going to have to give us an all-time great performance. So these teams are a lot closer than I thought before the actual playoffs started. But I'm surprised pleasantly. And, again, if Pascal Siakam goes off in this game, it's going to be tough for Oklahoma City, especially if Tyrese Halliburton comes along for the ride. So I think that the championship experience that he has from the Toronto Raptors in those days playing with Kawhi, he's probably learned a lot. He's probably learned how to blend well, how to give different mismatched looks, and how to just be a great player. Let's face it. So I think Indiana's in a position to really take the lead tonight. And I think that if they do take the lead tonight, that could essentially be it for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So all you Pacers fans, get in the comment section. All you NBA fans as well, definitely check out Sports Choice Plus. And we'll see y'all on the